Listen, hey Gianni, good morning, buddy. How are you? Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're able to hear me. I've been having a lot of trouble with my phone. That's why I haven't been doing any morning lives because my phone has been giving me a problem. But I want to stress nothing but positivity on this channel. This channel is a positive channel. As Edwin always says, positivity. We need more channels that have positivity, especially with all the nonsense that's going on in the world, right? Why come to YouTube and get aggravated? You can get that on the street. Oh, you can hear me now? Yeah, I've been having a problem with my phone. I'm getting ready to toss it out the window and get a new iPhone because it fades in and out sometimes. That's why I haven't been doing any lives in the morning. But as long as you can hear me, that's good. But anyway, as Edwin says, positivity, no nonsense, no badgering people, no bullshit, excuse my language, no harassing one another. I was on Edwin's channel on his panel last night. I went to sleep early, and I woke up. I think it was like maybe 2 o'clock, I go to my phone, of course, and who was on? Edwin. Now I don't know if that guy ever sleeps or not, because he's on all hours. He's on all hours of the night, day. I don't know what he's doing. Gianni, I meant to watch that. I didn't get a chance to. Clayton Morris is into the paranormal and UFOs and things like that, and that's another reason why I watch him. He is my go-to for the news. I've stressed this many times on my show. I do not watch mainstream media news. I'll watch maybe the local news to see what's happening around in my area. But as far as any events around the world, I don't watch the mainstream media news because they only cover what they want to cover, and they leave a lot of things out. And there's some things that they don't. There's a lot of things that they don't cover at all. And Clayton covers it all. So his show is redacted, and he's on at between 4 and 4:30 in the afternoon with his wife. But he's into the paranormal and UFOs. Very interesting and intelligent guy. He was a newscaster for 20 years, so he really knows this stuff. Into stocks, into real estate. He's an entrepreneur, very intelligent. I've mentioned this many times. I made some money with him on some stocks that I bought a while back. I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, I agree with you, Johnny. Mainstream media is all nonsense. They lie. They leave a lot of stuff out. There's a lot of things that they don't even cover that they should cover. They tell you only what they want to tell you. And the newspaper is the same thing. I lost all faith and confidence in the mainstream media. Totally. Like I said, I only watch the local news, what's happening around my town, the Newark area, the Belleville area, Nutley, Clifton. You know, that's what I do, just to find out what's going on. Yeah, that's a shame about the bridge in Baltimore. I heard something about that, but I didn't look into the story. I have to go on I have to go on YouTube and see what the story would happen with the bridge. I know that a boat crashed into the bridge or something. I think that's what happened, right? Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day. Is that I did some shows that I covered some news that wasn't the greatest news, and then I realized, maybe should I be doing that? Should I be covering bad news? When I'm supposed to convey a positive channel, would that depress my listeners? Would that bring them down when they come to my show, reporting bad news that's happening around the world? You know, I was thinking about that the other day. because when you turn the news on, it's nothing but bad news. That's all you hear is bad news. Even when I go on Facebook, I'm in the age bracket now that when I go on Facebook, every time I go on Facebook, somebody's dying. Somebody I know is dying. Somebody I know has died, whether it's a friend or an acquaintance. Nothing but we're surrounded by bad news. You know, so you want to try to. And I said this many times. We have enough BS off of YouTube, right? That we're dealing with in life, right? With everything that's happening, and then you go on YouTube and you go into these channels where there's nothing but fighting and doxing and cursing and arguing, and it's just, I mean, really, after me personally, after working 10 hours a day, because I work 10 hours a day, at the end of the day, I'm tired, right? Working 10 hours. Sometimes I'll take some food home from the restaurant, or sometimes I'll go home and cook, like at 9 o'clock at night. By 9:30 at night, I'm like shot, right? I had a rough day, and who the hell wants to go on YouTube and go into a channel where people are arguing and screaming and yelling and doxing and who did this, who did that? Oh my God! Really? Do you really want to hear that? Absolutely, Johnny. I agree with you 100%. You want a kick in the gut? Just turn on any news channel. They're all the same. They all report nothing but bad news because that's all that's happening. And now, in yesterday's paper, I was looking at the post. The train situation has gotten worse in New York. Even with the National Guard there, it's gotten worse. And New York right now is in Manhattan is not a really a good place to go to. I had a couple of friends of mine that wanted to go to New York next week, and I said, forget it. I'm not going to New York. I'm not dealing with any of that nonsense. There's too much going on over there. I'm not. I'm just not going into New York. I don't want to deal with that. So I nixed that idea. But yeah, they got the National Guard there, and it's getting worse. I can't understand that. So every time you turn around, that's why I joke and kid around all day long, and I really do. I joke and kid around all day long, and I've always said this. I'm only serious when I really have to be, because you know, life, of course, as you know, is short, and there's a time and a place to be serious. And with all the stuff that's going on right now, there's a lot of people out there. There was somebody, a friend of mine, was saying that on her Facebook page, she had three people who said they were going to do away with themselves. And that's a sign of tough times. A lot of people right now are having a tough time, with everything. Everything is the rising cost of everything. Gas now. I'm looking at the gas because I'm in the gas station. The gas station's up to 3.15 here now, and it's going to go up again. It's going to go up. It's not going to go down. Gianni, I don't even go into those. The only channel that I go into really watch, I watch Angel because I really like Angel. I respect her. Carol, I was on Carol's panel the other night. Edwin, of course. Um, who else? Danny Stories. I go into very few channels. I'm not in the mob genre or any of that stuff. I don't. I just don't care for that. You know. And then, Angel's show can get a little hairy sometimes. But then what happens is, with her show, is it's a little hairy at some point, and then it like calms down, and that's the part that I like when it's calm, and in her show. But those are the show. I mean, I don't really. I'm not on YouTube all day long. I can't be on YouTube all day long, even if I wanted to be, because of work. Stand up guy once in a while I'll go on his show, and I haven't been his show in a while. But I watch very few shows. Like I said, I'm not on YouTube that much. You know, I got too much going on off of YouTube to be on YouTube all day long. You know, and it's, believe me, it's very easy to become addicted to YouTube. You know, it really, well, it's easy to become addicted to anything, really. You know, I'm not on my phone all day long. You know, I don't even carry the phone with me. It's usually in the truck when I'm doing catering. Angel's a good Angel. Gianni, I agree with you. Angel is a good woman. Uh, her background history has nothing to do with her character and her personality. They just can't seem to leave this woman alone. I've mentioned this before, even to her, is I don't like the disrespect that she gets. You know, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of women that are on YouTube and in these chats are not respected the way that they should be. I don't know. You don't really know who's behind the avatar, if it's a man or a woman. I'm going to assume that it's men that are, abusing these women and treating them disrespectfully. But I just see. I didn't grow up that way. I grew up in a different time, a different period, where my parents taught me, to respect women. You know, my father taught me different things, how to treat a woman, and there's just certain things that I can't go into a chat or do a show where I'm abusing a woman. You know what I'm saying? That's because of my upbringing, and I just don't understand the way people are on YouTube. But don't forget that you have all different types of personalities from all over the world that are on YouTube. There's going to be some sick, demented people that are on YouTube having shows, and that's but YouTube. That's another thing. Their guidelines are terrible. YouTube's guidelines are terrible. You know something? Let me just say that I have $67 in my YouTube account. 67 lousy dollars. YouTube will not give it to me. Now that's all donations for coffee and everything. YouTube will not give me that money until I reach $100. So they've been holding my money. Big deal, $67. They've been holding my money for like 5 months now. $67. 67 lousy stinking dollars that they're holding on to. Like they really need $67. But their guidelines are terrible. There's shows that should not even be airing on YouTube. And people are being struck on things that they shouldn't even be struck on. So they're absolutely ridiculous. They have no customer service. They're just, I mean, if there was another platform that was better than them, I would use it. But unfortunately, YouTube is the best platform to use right now with the most exposure. And it is what it is. I just don't understand them. That their guidelines are absolutely horrible. But, it is what it is. What are you going to do? But like I said, 60, can you imagine that? 67 lousy dollars that people donated to me for coffee, which was very nice, and I can't get it. I have to reach $100 minimum. $100 is the uh, what is it? $100. I have to reach $100 before they can release the money, and then when they release the money, the taxes come out, and they take a certain percentage out. I don't know, Gianni. They don't have a team. They don't have a team. I have so many copyright infringements against me for all the songs that I play. I must have at least 50. I'm not doing anything with them. I'm not. They're not strikes, but I'm not doing anything with them. I'm not disputing them. I don't care for the songs that I play. I just did a 1 hour disco show, nonstop music, 1 hour disco music, and all those songs were copyrighted. I don't care. I don't even bother with that. Johnny, oh my god. Oh my god, you're too funny, man. You're bigger crooks than you ever were. They are crooks. Can you imagine that though? Seriously, what's my $67 going to do to them? They make millions. They make millions, and they got to hold my lousy stinking $67. Like I can't buy coffee. John, you remind me of one of those guys in Newark back in the day that used to pull up in a car, get out of your car, open up the trunk, and have all this merchandise in the trunk. And then everybody asked, "Where'd you get this?" "Oh, I fell off a truck." I remember the days in Newark. That used to be all the time. The guy used to pull up on a street corner, open up the trunk, anything you wanted: shoes, clothes, watches, jewelry, TVs, VCRs. Every week it was something. You don't see that anymore. Johnny, that's not even a drop in a bucket for them. That's like the size of a pinhead for them. And it pisses you off. It really does. Because, like I said, their guidelines suck. And you're at their mercy, really. There's nothing really you can do. You're stuck. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I was doing this to make money, I'd be in the poorhouse with YouTube. But some people make good money doing this. Lee Cole makes good money doing this, and a few other people. God bless them. Yeah, everything's legit. Yeah, those days are gone. Where the car used to pull up, or the van used to pull up. It used to happen at least once a week in Newark back in the day. Anything you wanted. I remember when members only jackets were big. Guys used to pull up in the cars and they opened up the trunk, and in the back they'd have all kinds of member only jackets and Jordache jeans and Sassoon jeans and watches and stuff, and anything you wanted. You know, you could always depend on the neighborhood guy pulling up on the corner and opening up his trunk. But those days are long gone. I miss those days. They were fun. They were fun. You walk up to the car and say, "What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?" You know, and then the guy would say, "Well, I got this, I got that. You got TVs, I got VCRs, whatever you wanted." Every week it was always something different. Every week something fell off a truck. That was the favorite expression. "Where'd you get this stuff?" "Fell off the truck." "Yeah, it fell off the truck." What are you gonna do? Times have changed. Times have changed, and today the way things are, it's not for the better. It's not for the better at all. We all know that it's not for the better. I went shopping the other day, right? A single guy like myself, $300 for a single guy for food. I don't even eat that much. $300, and what did I buy? I'm a single guy, right? A single guy. Yeah, but it's not getting any better. It's not getting any better. It really isn't. Maybe in 8 months from now to get better. Johnny, when I went shopping a couple years ago, for me, I was spending like maybe $125. And that was for the month. Because when I go shopping for the month because I like to get everything over with, and then I'll go back if I need like some odds and ends. But I usually shop for the month and get it over with. You know, walk up the stairs, put everything away, which is another pain in the ass. But now it's going to be a bit ridiculous. Every week when I go to ShopRite, the prices of things that I buy go up every friggin' week. It's ridiculous. That's why so many people are resorting to shoplifting. These people in all over the place in the United States are walking in stores, filling up their carts, walking out the stores with all the merchandise, or they're in crowds and they're ripping off stores and stuff. It's gotten that way out of hand, way out of hand. No, they're not. You're right, Gianni. They're not. They're bold and they're brazen. They're not even shy about it. Like years ago, I mean, you know, years ago they didn't have any cameras. I'm going back in the day. Uh, there was no cameras, or there was no those, what do you call those things that you walk through that ring the bell off. There was none of that. None of that. I mean, stealing back in the day was so easy. It really was. But you're on your what's the word I'm looking for? You were not aware. That's not the word I want to use. But you were on your toes. You're on your toes. But today they're like bold and brazen. They'll just walk in a store, start robbing. That's the last thing you want to do is get picked up for shoplifting. I know. I saw a couple of videos where there's, maybe 30, 40 people just rushing in the store with trash bags, grabbing stuff off the rack, running around the store, and the store employees are standing there. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? And the cops, do they even come? It's like a free for all. And that's why some of these stores are closing. I'm telling you, we're in bad shape. We really are. We need a lot of prayer. We really do. We need a lot of prayer, and we need one man in the White House to try to straighten things out, because it is in 2 years. I mean, we have gone downhill. Something terrible. Yeah, yeah. The only place the cameras are not are in bathrooms. Everybody's got a camera. Everybody that has a phone has a camera. A lot of people have those ring doorbells. You can't even do B&Es anymore without somebody in the neighborhood, you know, catching you on video. You know, I can't see myself getting picked up for shoplifting at my age. You know, that's an embarrassment. That's an embarrassment. Ralph getting picked up for shoplifting. Oh my God, I can't even picture that. 50 years ago, that would be a different story. But 50 years ago, the kids, we never got caught. We never got caught because it was so easy. You know, I mean, we weren't bad kids. We were mischievous kids. We didn't hurt anybody, but we did crazy things. I did a lot of crazy things. I look back and I laugh at them and I said, "Geez, how the hell did I ever do these things?" But as you get older, you back then you don't think of the consequences. The consequences don't even come to your mind. You just act and do the acting, and that's it. You don't think of anything else. But as you get older and you start to mature, and you start to realize the consequences, and you grow up. You just don't do that anymore. Either you still do it, and or you grow up. You know what I'm saying? So it's totally different. Now I don't think that cameras will ever be in a bathroom. That's something that I don't think will ever happen. But that's the only place really that they're not really like in bathrooms. But like I said, everybody has a phone, has a camera. So Big Brother is always watching. You never know. You just never know. But yeah, like I said, hold on a second. So she's an 80-year-old woman that's shoplifting in your store, Gianni. What are you gonna do? I mean, 80 years old, poor lady. Years ago, back in the day, you were able to go in the neighborhood that I grew up in Newark. You were able to go to the butcher or any grocery store, and you'd walk in and say, your mother would give you a list, and you get a whole bunch of things, and you tell the owner, my mom said she'll pay you next week, and that was it. And the store owner knew who you were, knew who your parents were, and that's how we did credit back then. It was, a trustful thing. That is totally unheard of today. Totally unheard of today. But that's the way it was back then. My mom says she'll pay you next week. There was really no credit or credit cards back then. So everything was, everything. I mean, everything was on credit, and they had your name and whatever it was that you ran up, and then next week you went in and you paid them. It was like an honor system, and all the stores back then did that. When things were tough. Well, maybe you should talk to her, Gianni. Maybe you should talk to her in a nice way, in a nice soft tone, and tell her, look, I know what you're doing. You don't have to do it. Take what you want. Don't. I don't know if you want to say take what you want, but you know, help yourself. I feel bad for her. I mean, she's 80 years old. What are you gonna do? She's probably got to be on Social Security, right? And finding it difficult to make ends meet. I've heard of some people eating dog food. Yeah, I've heard of some people, some senior citizens eating dog food. Yeah, oh, you still do that, Gianni? Yeah, that's unheard of today. There's no stores around here. Well, actually, there is. There's a Krauser store that I hang out on the weekends with my friends that does that. You know, that runs up a tab. But other than that, I don't know of anybody else that does that. But yeah, things are rough for a lot of people. I mean, there's nothing to offset the rising prices. You have these prices that are all rising, right? And your pay is staying the same. So you're paying more and buying less, and the product is also shrinking as well. So the only way to offset the increase in prices is, if you're not making it with your regular salary, is to get a part-time job. That's the only way that I can think of to offset the increase in prices, right? But then again, who wants to work a part-time job? I mean, if you have to, you have to. But you know, unfortunately, that's what you have to do. Hello, Crazy Purple. How are you? Good to see you, hon. There's no way to get around that. I mean, you can cut corners on what you buy. You could skimp and scrape and cut corners on what you buy. And try to get your grocery bill down. Try to get your electric bill down. By keeping lights off. Don't put the TV on. Don't keep the TV on all night. There's ways you can cut the bills a little bit, but some bills you just can't cut. You know, Cable. If you got cable, maybe you can make a deal with them. To get your bill lowered. The insurance company, maybe you can make a deal with them to get your bill lowered. These companies realize that people are hurting out there. What do you think they don't know? So there's ways to cut corners if you really want to cut corners. But the other way, like I said, is that if your weekly salary, you're finding it difficult to make ends meet, is to get a part time job. But then, like I said, who wants to get a part time job? And if you have a family, that's keeping you away from your family. And if you have kids, it's even harder. Everything for kids today is expensive. Oh, I see the 74 bus passing. There it goes. I'm on the main road in Belleville, New Jersey, and the 74 passes over here. All right, Gianni, I shop at this dollar store twice a week. I love the dollar store. I buy all my paper products there, like my napkins and paper towels and toilet paper and a few other things. And you'd be surprised. I mean, some of this stuff is good. I buy Bounty paper towels. You don't get as much as you would if you bought Bounty and ShopRite, the towels, but they're a good quality paper towel. And, it's $1.25, you know. So I'm there in the dollar store twice a week at least. They have Hallmark cards there that you can get for $1.25. So they have a lot of good things if you shop around. And I was one that always said I'll never shop at a dollar store because I always thought that things were cheap there. But some of the things are good. I buy garbage bags there. I buy tin foil there. Whatever I could buy there, I'll buy there rather than go to ShopRite. But I read that 1,000 stores are going to be closing around the United States. Now, I don't know if that's going to affect the store that I go to in Nutley, New Jersey, which is a really nice store. But I was just there yesterday when I had off. But they got, I wouldn't knock the dollar store because they do have a lot of good things. You just have to shop around. It depends on what you're looking for. I buy my picture frames from them, the frames that you put photos in, which are pretty decent. So they got a lot of good things. Yeah, the dollar stores. I mean, the dollar store that I have in my town in Nutley is very clean. And I buy all my candy there. I buy all my candy at the dollar store. You name it, I buy. My whole cocktail table is full of candy. Almond Joy, Kit Kats, M&Ms, you name it. I got it on my cocktail table. Reese's peanut butter cups, Jolly Ranchers. I buy all my candy there. I buy my potato chips there. They have some really good potato chips. You got to shop around. Some stuff is good, some stuff is not so good. But I wouldn't knock it anymore because like I said, I was one who knocked it. I said, I'll never go to a dollar store. But no, I listened to my surprise. I surprised myself. Nutley is a very nice area. It's a very nice town. The taxes are very high. Uh, there's hardly any riffraff in the town of Nutley simply because it's bordered by Newark, Bloomfield, and Clifton. So that has a tendency to keep the riffraff out. But the taxes are extremely high here, and to buy a home in Nutley is very, very expensive. But it's a very clean town, and it's been that way for years. And I don't see it changing. All right, guys. Well, I got to get going to work. I enjoyed your company. Johnny, Crazy Purple, thanks for dropping in. Johnny, was always nice talking to you. Um, What was I going to say? God, I can't believe that Sunday's Easter already. Jeez, unbelievable. These months are just like flying right by. What is it? April 1st is what? It's going to be Monday, I think, right? April Fool's Day. It'll be April already. Before you know it, these kids will be getting out of school. It's just Holy Week, Good Friday. If you're Catholic, you can't eat meat on Friday for Good Friday. But yeah, Easter, jeez. What's the next holiday? Let's see, Easter, and then there's a Memorial Day. Hey, Frankie, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, the next holiday would be. Hey, listen, Memorial Day will be here before you know it. Do you find that the older you are, the quicker the months go by? Like time is like flying by so quickly. You know, my grandkids are already. My granddaughter's going to be 13 years old next month. I can't believe it. Where did the hell did 13 years go to? That's another thing. Oh my God. When I take her shopping, oh, it costs me a fortune. Like for her for Christmas, I have a grandson and a granddaughter. For Christmas, I don't. I used to buy them Christmas presents. I don't buy them Christmas presents anymore. What I do is I give them a budget. Let's say a budget of $200 each. Then I'll take them to the stores that they want to go to, and they can buy what they want, for Christmas. But I take them after Christmas. I take them the month of January, so they have something to look forward to because once Christmas is over and they get all their presents and everything, they're all they're done with that. And so they have something to look forward to in the month of January. And then for their birthdays, I'll give them a budget for their birthdays and I'll take them shopping. But I took my granddaughter to Sephora, which is a beauty supply store for women. Oh my God, I can't believe how expensive makeup is. $30 for a lip gloss. But as they get older, I mean, it's funny because when they're little, they get more gifts because their gifts are not that expensive. But as they get older and grow older, their gifts get less and less because they're more expensive. They want video games now, they want makeup. Uh, it's just it's just very expensive. They love it, Gianni. They love it. It's something that I came up with because I came up with it for Christmas because after they get all their presents and their money and everything, right? Christmas is over, then New Year's comes. So the month of January, I'll take them like maybe the second week of January, Christmas shopping. And they buy whatever they want. They buy whatever they want, because sometimes you buy them something and they don't particularly care for it and they have to return it. So this way, they buy the things that they like, you know, like my granddaughter, who's going to be very thrifty with money. So I gave her a $200 budget for Christmas, and she said to me, "Pop," she said, "I'm only going to spend $100, and $100 I'm going to save." I said, "You do whatever you want." I said, "It's your money. You do whatever you want." And my grandson, I said, "What do you want to do?" He goes, "I want to cash out, Pop." Cash out. He wants to spend everything, right? Well, girls are more mature than the boys anyway. So, but they love it. They love the idea. They look forward to it. They like going to the stores. We make a day of it. We go up to the mall, wherever they want to go. We have lunch or whatever, and then we go a little shopping. We do a little shopping. We have lunch, and then we do a little bit more shopping. Yeah, cash out. That's what my grandson said. They were in the car with me. I said, my granddaughter's sitting next to me. I said, "Here's your budget." I increased it right to $200. She goes, "Okay, I only want to spend $100, and the other 100 I'll save." I said, "Fine, that's up to you. Whatever you want to do, it's your money." I turned and I said to my grandson, "What do you want to do?" He goes, "I want to cash out, Pop." I said, "Cash out?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "You mean you want to spend everything?" He goes, "Yeah, I want to cash everything out." I said, "It's a fine. It's up to you." So he actually took me to a store that I didn't know anything about that has all kinds of memorabilia and figures and everything. And I loved the store, and I ended up spending money in the store. I forgot what he bought. He bought something there, and I ended up buying it. I ended up buying. What the hell did I end up buying? Oh, I bought a Michael Myers figure and something else. I bought another figure, but the store was great. I didn't know anything about it, so I learned something from him. Yeah, and I told my son that. I said, "Your son said he wants to cash out." My son was hysterical. These kids today, let me tell you something. They are so advanced. They are much more advanced than we ever were. Well, we didn't have the technology back then that they have today. I can't imagine what technology would be today if we had the technology today that we had back then. If we had computers and 1,000 channels on TV, and I can't imagine what the technology would be like today. But life back then in the day was very simple. But these kids are very, very advanced today. They have their phones at an early age. They're on the computer at an early age. Um, so that they're much more advanced than us. Unbelievable. Yeah, I have a lot of memorabilia. I have a lot of memorabilia. I got to get rid of some stuff. I have too much. I saved all my son's toys from 1988. Right, they were 30 years old. All his Ghostbuster toys, all his wrestling figures, all his Ninja Turtles. I gave everything back to him, and I think, yeah, he took the Ghostbuster Firehouse, which I bought him in 1988, and 2 years ago he took it and he got $1,000 for it. They're going in the attic and nobody's going to bother them. I'm the only one that goes in the attic. And that's where they stayed for over 25 years. Now, I knew some of them were going to be worth some money. I knew that not all of them were going to be worth money, but I saved everything. When he was done playing with them, I got all the pieces together. I put them back. I put them in the boxes and I put them in the attic. And that's where they stayed. Now, I didn't really save them because of the monetary value. I saved them because he would have something that he would remember that he played with from his childhood. That's really the reason why I saved them. You know, of course, the monetary value came into play too, but yeah, I gave them all back to him. I wish my parents had the foresight to do that. Our parents didn't save any of our toys. They threw the boxes out the next day. You go around the neighborhood, Christmas time, you'd see everybody, all the toys that the kids got because the boxes were outside. But who knew? Who knew back then, right? Who knew? That's why my son, my oldest son, who's into collecting as well, I told him, look, if you can afford it, buy two of everything. If you can afford it, buy two of everything. One for yourself and one for if you want to sell. And keep it in the box. Keep it in the box and don't open it up. Because some of these toys are worth a lot of money. All right, guys. The time goodbye. I'm on my way to work. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. It was all nice talking to you. Johnny, you have a good day. I'll see you soon. I'll probably see you in one of the chats. We're somewhere around. But thanks for joining me. Everybody have a great day and stay well, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye now.